Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, Junaid Mohammed exposes hidden intentions and discussions between Emir Sanusi and VP Osinbajo when Buhari was sick. See details. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube.
All right. A Second Republic parliamentarian, Junaid Mohammed, has alleged that the Emir of Kano, Emir Sanusi II, lobbied to be the vice president to Professor Emir Sanusi when President Muhammad Buhari was on sick leave in the United Kingdom. Speaking in an interview with The Interview, Mohammed says Sanusi told the then acting President Osinbajo to consider him for vice president in the event that President Buhari dies. Recall that the President Buhari spent several months in London in 2017 on a sick leave for an undisclosed ailment. Mohammed said once Buhari was sick, very sick in England, he went to Osinbajo, this current Emir Sanusi. He was sure that Buhari was going to die, and if Buhari dies, he would like Osinbajo to consider him as vice president, even though on the surface he belonged to no party. He wanted Osinbajo to consider him as vice president now. Anybody with any sense of logic and sanity would not condescend this kind of thing. If for whatever reason this issue was reported to Buhari, if Buhari were another leader, he would have gotten rid of him in a jiffy. I know for a fact that I'm glad there are people involved who will now confirm it. The Emir of Kano, when he was governor of Central Bank, went to see my friend Bola Tinubu and went to see the current Oba of Lagos, Oba Renwan Akiolu, telling them that a certain presidential candidate was actually the choice of Kano and the choice of the North. So he would want them to support that person. The Oba was diplomatic, but Tinubu told him in no uncertain terms that we are supporting Buhari, not because we like his face. We are supporting Buhari because consistently he has scored 12 million votes since he came into politics in 2002. This is not the first time. I am now 70 years old and I'm older than the Emir of Kano, and I have known him since childhood and I knew his father and mother, he alleges.
All right, thank you very much. This is quite expository, but at the same time, one will be wondering what has triggered him, to go into all this unnecessary discussion. It may be very important to some other persons, but all the same, let's just look at this in a jiffy, and then we go into discussion. One or two persons have responded in terms of comment. This one says here, this man will stop at nothing, throwing poto mud almost all the time. At 70, according to him, I think he should be doing his children a favor by slowing down and stop his political pollution in the country, truly. They tell Junaid, elders don't run their mouth at will like he's doing right now. Elders don't talk about all they see for obvious reason. Elders are fence mender. They don't rock the boat, keep themselves clear of mud sliding. Unfortunately, Elder Junaid has become a carpenter left with only one tool. Anything he sees has become nail. No wonder he hits them on the head. All right, those are some of the reactions that we have, and we want to look at these. Now, Junaid has been one person who has been so open, and he has trampled on a lot of persons. His statement has the capacity of triggering a lot of things. And personally, we just want to look at this precisely. The state of the president's health as at then was not a good one. Now, ordinarily, let's be real. Let's, down to it. As much as a lot of people or this man President Muhammadu Buhari may not be happy with this kind of information. If he hears it, he won't be happy. But at the same time, every wise person, if you see that someone is going to die, you see there was a state as which the person was so sick. I could still remember on one occasion when he came out of the airplane and he was walking. His aides were, I think, close by him. The man was almost falling by the side. That everybody, that particular video was, viral. So, as at that point, being a political strategist, let's be real. Even those that you may not have heard what they have said about, Buhari as at that time, most people may have strategically positioned themselves. Even some of the corruption that we are seeing right now, it may be all of them were as a result of his state of it. Say, if this man dies now, how much money am I going to walk away with? This one appointee will say, if this man dies now, how much money am I going to walk away with? Let me position myself well, because if he dies, another person takes over, I may be thrown out of this position. So I believe that as a politician and as a strategist, as a former central bank governor, he was trying to reposition himself so that at least he can get some relevance as one of the northerners. At least he has saved this country, though he has not belonged to any political party thus far, but then I think he has done a little bit of the here and there. But where it's really wrong is you don't have to wish people dead. You don't have to wish people, you don't have to take advantage of somebody dying. But at the same time, the thing is like two-edged sword. Somehow, even as you are not taking advantage of, or you're not wishing somebody dead, but at the same time, it's good for you to sit back and look at situation, analyze it the way it is, and reposition yourself so that in event of such thing happening, at least you can take a bite out of it. This is strictly politics. So exposing him, well, for me, it doesn't change anything, because my expectation was that when he was talking about intentions of Buhari, intentions of the Emir of Sanusi, discussing things with the likes of the Osinbajo, I was expecting something like, let's fast track his death, and all of that. But, this one was like repositioning himself and all of that. So that's just it.
Well, for me, I'm not surprised. Behind the corridor of power, there's always politics inside politics. So it's not new to me at all. But just that coming from a northerner, it looks as if it's a serious matter, because they usually appear united. But obviously, you can see that greed has a way of playing out. But it clearly shows a lot of things. Don't forget that fairly recently, the past 6-7 months, past 5-6 months thereabout, Vice President Emir Sanusi have gone through so much turbulent times during his political tenure. He has been through so much, a lot of he has been in the media mud throwing and all that, but he has used silence as one of the golden tools he used to combat his trying times. A lot of persons said that he's no more in good terms with Buhari. A lot of persons came out and said, look, Buhari wants to do it with him, that's a ready-made vice president that they want to put. A lot of persons said, he even went as far as begging Abakari, over some issues, allegations of billions, allegement of alleged stealing or siphoning trader money, all these things. I feel that it may have generated from the fact that, maybe the cabal felt, so if even Buhari was supposed to die, are you supposed to, go to Sanusi? Are you not supposed to come through to us and all that? And much more that, that does not meet the eyes that we are yet to see. Don't also forget that Sanusi also have gotten a bit of the bite as well. Fairly recently, barely 2 months ago, I think Ganduje, the governor of Kano, have shown him stuff. Don't forget that Emir of Sanusi, Emir of Kano, was actually one time the governor of CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria. He was also, I think, the chief executive director of First Bank. Yeah. So the person we're referring to is not an illiterate. Is very much exposed. He has been in the corridor of employment. He has been in the blue,
Leadership.
the collar, white collar job, and he has been in corridor of leadership for a very long time. So he knows his onions. So going back to become Emir of Sokoto is probably one of those calls he has. And during this period, after this whole tenure, after this whole issue came up, there have been so much, belittling, they had to practically belittle Emir of Sokoto, Emir of Kano, that's Sanusi himself. So you never can tell some of the inner caucus problems they've been having. Maybe, just maybe, this is one of the traces of the fact that they felt that Vice President Osinbajo must have betrayed the cabal of even, agreeing to even have an audience with someone like Emir of Sanusi, Emir of Kano, that's Sanusi, and don't forget Junaid also, with what he has, allegedly he said, what he said, he's saying that Emir of Kano, that's Sanusi himself, the second, has shown signs of greed, shown signs that he doesn't believe in this government. But always, during the election, he said he was going to bring a presidential candidate that they not supported, and which is definitely not Buhari, and all these things. Junaid is trying to say is the fact that Emir Sanusi has been a betrayer, a mole, a saboteur in the north, and if it was to be another person and not Buhari, maybe they would have done away with him in a jiffy. And that's clearly that also shows that the north also are divided. It's not just that front you keep saying. You can see that the grid keeps playing up again and again. But well, in all, we still thank God that the Vice President Osinbajo is still in the seat and is still sitting tight.
I think that's why a lot of persons are trying to tell Junaid to calm down, because right now there's some kind of peace between the office of Vice President and the President. For you to come up with this fresh allegation, because for me it's an allegation, is a pointer to the fact that maybe you have heard more about this, your Vice President, but there's more to hear. And this time around, it has to do with his connivance or with his discussion with the Emir of Sanusi, which may not really augur well. Let the sleeping dog lies, and let's watch how this country will be transforming to another level. That's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What do you think the continuous negative talk by the Second Republic parliamentarian will likely do to the present day government? Don't forget that he has put a lot of fire in different places. Among IPOB, he said some horrible things like that would have triggered a lot of trouble. What do you think is continuous,